I'm just setting up the tablet at the right height and whatnot. Hello, Larry. Put on my old man glasses. Let me rearrange this thing. I'm not quite crazy about this. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. Hey. How is everybody doing? So, I haven't put out a video in over a week. I understand. However, I got a good excuse. I'm here in California again for business. You like these glasses? They're cheap readers. I broke my other one, so I had to go to like Walgreens or Walmart and buy a cheap pair of readers. They work all right. But I'm back at the Navy base doing some more work here, Port Hueneme, in Oxnard, California, and just been so busy with everything. I just have not put out a video, and I'd say it's 8 days now, and I'm very embarrassed. I looked at my subscribers; they down, and I don't blame them. Hey, you know, if you're not going to put out videos, no need to be, I guess, subscribed. So I understand where they're coming from. So yeah, we're here in Ventura County, Oxnard, California. I'm right off the coast right now. I walk out that door, and I'm on the beach, give or take 50 feet or so. And so we're here doing tests at the Navy base, Port Hueneme, and that's it. And every day I've been thinking, I need to do a video. There's just so much in the news, you know. So the leader of ISIS, I wanted to talk about this. Leader of ISIS was killed. And how I found out about it is I was scrolling through the channels. And when you're in a foreign city that you're not familiar with, you're kind of scanning through all the channels, especially in a hotel. What do they got? What do they got? What do they got? And lo and behold, I didn't even realize I was on CNN, and I saw, of all channels, I saw the headlines, leader of ISIS killed. And I don't know his name, Abdul Yabadabadu. I really don't know his name. But Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, I really don't know, but he's dead. And I commend our soldiers who did this, this amazing feat, this amazing task. But what troubled me was CNN last night was already trying to twist it where Trump did something wrong, where President Trump did something wrong. And they kept saying, well, didn't he tell so-and-so country? Didn't he tell Turkey? Didn't he get it cleared to this country and that country? How does his soldiers fly over and commute through another country without their permission? Didn't he do that? Didn't he do that? And they're already trying to twist it where, you know, he's just walking all over all the countries doing what he needs to do to get things done. What a dictator. You know, I can already see the headlines, how they were trying to twist it yesterday. You know, she must have asked, this broad on CNN, she must have asked, well, didn't he clear it through Turkey? He didn't clear it through our Congress and our Senate? Or our Congress, I think she said. He didn't tell anybody, he just does things. The thing is, he doesn't trust anybody in Congress. Just imagine this. Little foresight here. Let's just imagine that he tried to get approval from Congress or whoever the hell he has to get approval from. And then somebody in Congress leaked it to ISIS. And can you imagine ISIS waiting to ambush our soldiers just to make Trump look bad? I can just see it. And I don't believe they would have any problems, and they would not lose any sleep at night to attempt to make Trump look bad through through an assault like that, through an ambush like that. So that's what I saw on CNN last night. What else was in the news? Obviously, if you want free stuff, vote for Warren. I don't even need to cover that anymore. She's up in the polls. I know I haven't been polled. I know everybody I asked hasn't been polled, but yet she's up in the polls. No, this is our news telling you who we think you should pick. No need for you common folk to do any thinking. The news, we thunk it for you. Okay? We thought out everything. Don't do any thinking. We did our scientific experts and our political experts in the House to tell you how to think, tell you who to vote for. We picked Warren. So that's what the polls are for, just to lie to you, to make you feel like the entire world is on Warren's side. That's what they do. It's pretty. The whole. They make you feel like you are an outsider, and there must be something wrong with me if majority of the people are voting for Warren. Boy, what's wrong with me? Huh? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I should just vote for Warren. Wow. Okay. They know better than I do. Yeah, guess I'll vote for Warren. I'm too busy working and having Starbucks coffee to really do the research myself. Is pretty much what's going on here. So Larry White in the House, thanks again. Full push medals. Dazed and confused stacker. Couch potato. Bitcoin is up. Yes, I noticed. I'm very pleasantly surprised. I'm actually kind of hoping it would go down again. I want it to crash. So I can buy more at a lower price. I hate buying on the way up. Matter of fact, I never buy on the way up. And that goes for silver. I never buy my silver nor gold on the way up. Always wait for the dips. Thank you, Donaldo Trumpus. Like I said, I haven't made a video. I know I said it, but there's a few more people in the room. Haven't made a video in like 8 days, 7 to 8 days. That's because I'm here in Oxnard, California, doing some work. And I've just been very busy. When I go out of town and do work at various locations, it's very difficult for me to do a video. Nancy Pelosi is mad. I got to see this. When was the last time I made a silver purchase? Jack, it's been a while. I have to say, I'm embarrassed to say it's got to be, April-ish. But that's because I ran into some severe problems with the house we bought. We found a defective roof. We were lied to pretty much upon buying the home, and that had to be fixed. It is fixed now. There was a lot of other surprises. So all that got to prioritize, right? We all like to put all our money into silver and cryptos. We all like to put it into savings. But unfortunately, I had to prioritize and fix the broken things in my home. So I have not purchased silver in quite some time. Embarrassed to say. But I did not sell any silver either. That's key. Fonzarelli, dead for the 7th time. Who is dead for the 7th time? I don't understand that statement. Well, I see what you're saying. Because somebody right underneath you says, well, they said he was dead several times. Maybe that's what you're talking about. I have no clue. Monterey last week. Yeah, did you get to see the aquarium? Monterey Aquarium. Phenomenal place. He's been under constant scrutiny. Fast Eddie since his entire term. It's one thing to scrutinize somebody after they've been in office for a while. You have some historical data in order to critique. But did you know they started criticizing him and trying to impeach him on day one? It was a full-blown investigation on day one. Remember, and they don't even talk about hacking anymore. Notice, boom, they don't even speak about that. No such thing anymore. The whole thing was Russian. He was part of the Russians, and they hacked our elections. That you don't even hear about Russians no more. You don't even hear about election fraud anymore. It's amazing. It truly is. From day one. Notice there was no concerns about him hacking the election before the election. It's pretty amazing. Firecrescent House, FTRA 1987, thank you. When I get quiet, I'm reading the comments. And I like to address some of the comments. Rumpelstiltskin, Barack Obama created ISIS, and it was funded by, so this is all a Punch and Judy show, keeps the economy deteriorating. Yeah, I agree. I think ISIS was created by the FBI, actually the CIA. No, not the FBI, the CIA. And yeah, it's a creation of our government to overthrow their government. What should your first buy be? Heath Dennis. Take a look at Silver Eagles and take a look at Canadian Maple Leafs. Seaway 44 in the house, thank you. Yeah, Shane 2020. I'm sorry, 220. Thank you for in the house. I read your comment. Heath Dennis. Yeah, you'll be able to get each one of those coins for approximately $17. So you'll have enough for quite a few of each one of them. I'd say get two Silver Eagles and two Maples. Try to get it over $100. Just buy $1 or $2, and that way you get free shipping. Okay. Get it over the $100. That means you might get 5 coins, but you get free shipping. It's well worth going a little bit over your budget just to get the free shipping. Yukon, thank you so much for being here. Yo Cartozy. I appreciate, it's not like I'm asking you guys for anything. I'm not trying to borrow your car keys. I'm not trying to borrow your lawn tools and bring them back to you all broken up. But I need to ask a favor if everybody can just give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Not trying to date your daughter. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a thumbs up. I really would appreciate it. I know California though. LC Boo, California. Yeah. But California's pretty. I wouldn't want to live here though. Representative Cato Hill resigned from Congress. I got to do my research. Who the heck is she? Or it? Or hopefully it's a Democrat. They'll just replace her with another piece of crap. Didn't you do an inspection? I don't know what you're talking about. Didn't you do an inspection? By Cornelius. Didn't I do an inspection? Justin Russell, thank you for being in the house. Jack, anyone here collect 10-ounce bars? I love them, Jack. Sunshine Mint, take a look at the Sunshine Mint 10-ounce bar. One of my very favorites. Budget Bullion Stacker, hello, Rumple, thank you. Um, Ali Baghdadi, is that his name? That's right. He's been killed before. A few other people have said that. Um, Silver Britches in the house. I'm just going through some of the comments. G-Funk Productions. You know, it's funny. Let's talk about Bin Laden for a second. I think the wool has been pulled over our eyes. We go through years of killing Muslims, just decimating their bodies. I mean, literally blowing them to pieces, freaking, just from the land, sea, and air. I mean, just decimated them and just leave them in the freaking desert to rot in the hot sun. Not one of them was put to sea for a burial. Obama, Bin Laden, was killed, and they secretly carried him aboard a Navy ship, and before anybody can see, he was dumped into the ocean, according to their story, because it was a proper Muslim burial. Meanwhile, no evidence of his death, no evidence of his life, pretty much. Was he just a made-up, fictional person, a boogeyman? Not even the people on the ship, the Navy personnel, the soldiers were told to go to their rooms. It was done in total secrecy, in the middle of night. Now, the guy from Iraq, was it? What was his name? What was his name? Who was found in a little freaking bunker? Saddam Hussein, yes. Thank you, half dollar. He was also killed, I recall, by our soldiers. Same faith, same nationality. He was drugged through the streets, hung up, from people were taking pictures with the cell phone, recall? No rush to get him to a Navy ship to bury him out of respect for his religion. Do you see something kind of going on there? Obviously, years ago. Yeah, he was hung. So it wasn't from us, I guess. By his own, yeah. Gaddafi is another one. Did you see us rush in? Do you see it just, there's something really wrong with the Bin Laden death. It's amazing. Just moments after the Twin Towers went down, they already knew who it was. Shit, that's some good investigative work. Hours go by. It's Bin Laden. Looks like they had a boogeyman scare us into war. Anyway. Our whole family is active. Justin Russell, thank you for being in the house. Jack Johnson Ladafi was left dead in a ditch. Nurse Prepper 1 is live with the same topic. Yvonne Nutter, thank you so much. Xavier Davis Sliver. Well, Xavier, talk silver. I'm here to, not the whole world. Why do I talk politics? A lot of people get irritated when I talk politics because we need to know why and what is wrong with this country, with this government. We need to know why and what is wrong with this economy. And this all leads us into why we prep and why we stack silver. There's got to be a reason. We just don't collect silver as a hobby, do we? There's a reason why. Isn't there? There's a reason why we stack silver. And all I do is try to, I go through the politics, I go through the economics and whatnot of what the hell's going on. And if you don't know why you're stacking silver, then I don't even know why you're stacking silver. You're just trying to be part of a club? No, you got to know why. You know, why do we stack food? Why do we prep food? Why do we have 6 months of food minimum in the house? What are we afraid of? A lot of people get irritated when I talk politics, but I can only talk so much about silver. No disrespect. There's only so many times I can say, yeah, the Silver Eagle is the best, and my second number 2 coin is the Canadian Maple Leaves. Yeah, I love 10-ounce bars. There's only so many times I can tell people which silver to buy, you know, with increments. And it's as important and relevant as it today as it was when I started this channel several years ago. What is G-Funk? I love the weight of 10-ounce bars. I do. Somebody's talking about the shape and the feel of coins, so I'm replying back. I like 10-ounce bars. I love coins. 90% of my stack, I say actually 95% of my stack are Silver Eagles, and so I definitely do like coins. Oh, G-Funk is West Coast style of music. Thank you. I'm showing my age. Kind of tough to liquidate a kilo bar in a pinch. That's what I've been saying. Are firearms part of my prep? Now there's a subject I like talking about. Absolutely. I've made a couple of videos, excuse me, with my firearms. I have an AR platform. I have a 308 rifle. I have 22. Wife has a 357 revolver. I have a 40 caliber Sig Sauer P229, I believe it is. Got a shotgun. So yes, and a lot of ammo, lots of ammo. So yes, firearms are part of the prep. They're fundamental. I mean, they're up there with food. I mean, what good is it to have all the silver and food in the world if you can't protect it from the person or persons who don't? Let me get my phone. The pager, the little text keeps going off, and I am out here for work, and I wanted to see if it's work related. Oh man, I sit in this chair and I roll back. This is my hotel room. It's a nice room. It's actually a suite. So let's take a look. All right, so there's that. Can't tell you what that is. Blah, blah, blah. You guys need to be at when you're around 8 o'clock. All right, who is this? All right, so I guess I was right. All right, there's that. All right, no big deal. All right, other than that, let's see, what else is going on? The kookaburras are nice, but they're a little pricey. That's John Anderson. I find them to be a little pricey. Perth Mint stuff is really nice, but expensive. Yeah, so I am Navy CB. Actually, I'm at Port Hueneme. I'm literally right now around the corner from Port Hueneme. So, yeah, that's where we're working. Do I see? Yeah, I don't think we really need to pray, but we do need to go out and vote. So, yes, I do, the witness. I do believe Trump will win. But I also said this in the past. I don't know if the Democrat candidates are pretending to be so radical or if they really are. They're pretending to be so left, like offering free things and giving free things to illegal aliens and leaving the border walls open and everything's free, everything is free. And and we're going to take the guns away, and they're coming across so extreme, and I'm trying to think, this is a recipe for losing. Or are they trying to set themselves up for the loss because they know somebody else is going to start running that's a little bit more moderate, and they want to sacrifice themselves. So what if Michelle Obama or Hillary Clinton joined the race? And I think they're trying to seem so extreme to where everybody just funnels all their votes into that one person. They're diving on the sword, it seems like. Warren, Bernie. The only moderate up there is Biden, but he's a freaking piece of crap also. So I'm just wondering if we got a Hillary going to be coming up in the race, or an Obama. I'm really thinking that Michelle or Hillary is going to run. I've said this 6 months ago. Energy tick, I don't buy platinum or rhodium. My opinion, it's not worth it. I mean, is it worth it? I can't say it's not worth it, but I don't buy it. Platinum looks too much like silver, in my opinion. And when you need to sell it, let's say shit hits the fan, people are not going to know the difference between platinum and silver just by a visual. No. Yeah, there are some fires in California. And I wanted to talk about by Michelle Melaleu. I think I totally butchered that name up. So, I don't know if a lot of you folks have known, but there was 4 fires that were started. And pretty much what the news has not reported is that they were all started about the same time. No storms, no lightning, yet somehow 4 fires were started almost, I use the word almost, simultaneously across the state. Very odd. I've been getting a lot of emails about their conspiracy theories about the power outages here in California. While I've been out here, I've been listening to some news talk radio stations. They're claiming that they strategically shut power down in areas of high winds to mitigate fires. Electricity, a lot of their electrical wiring is above ground here in California. It's not below ground. Therefore, there's a lot of cables get torn down, sparking. So what they do is, according to them, I don't know whether this is truth or fact, they strategically, if they know of a weather forecast is going to be bad in a certain area, they will do a power outage in that area. That's what they're saying here in California. Renee, Michael, I wish I can afford night vision. I don't have any night vision. I would love to have a generation 2 at minimum. I would love to be able to afford a generation 3, but I don't have any because I can't afford it. Thank you for the question. Yukon Cornelius at CB, get protection for you, your family. Big oily guy. Thank you so much. He's a .999 squad guy. Donna Sykes. What? Gold buried underground where they are starting fires to get rid of people? I don't know about that. I mean, anything's possible. Yeah, I guess in areas where electrical is above ground, they do cut electricity for hurricanes. But California is old, it's antiquated. I don't know what they do with all their tax dollars. But I'll tell you what, they're not making any improvements, in my opinion. They're, I mean, they should start to bury their electrical. Now, maybe it's because of the earthquakes. I don't know. But yeah, I heard about the new security features in the American Silver Eagles, stack 'em high. However, right now, that's just, I don't want to use the word gossip, but because that's a little strong. But right now, I haven't seen it. But only time will tell. I've read a couple of articles here and there, but I've seen nothing come to the light of day yet. Thank you so much, Above and Below. They should support illegal immigrants with all those tax dollars. I'm sorry, they support illegal aliens with all those tax dollars. I got a comment to say about that. Now, this is going to come, I don't mean this to come off as racist, but I went to a Dutch town out here called Solvang. Solvang. It's Dutch. You drive into this town and everything changes. The architecture, just look it up. Google images, Solvang, Solvang, California. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Yet everybody in the stores, all the shop owners, it wasn't a freaking blonde hair, freckles anywhere. Didn't look like freaking America or Dutchland to me. It's just amazing. Just amazing. The new Gold Eagles are a done deal. I believe starting in 2022. Are you kidding me? Really? That's pretty cool. In a nutshell, what's going on in California? What do you mean? The witness, OverTaxed, what's the name of the water purifier that you have mentioned in the past? I forgot the name. Can you give me the name? I want to buy a couple of them. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. Oh, I'm just teasing. It's called a Berkey water purifier. They're kind of expensive, but the cost of water over time, I think it'd take a year. If you purchase water in the store and you purchase, I think it'd take about a year and a half to make your money back. I don't think you need to buy two. Maybe start off with one, but buy a lot of filters. The Berkeys, you can fit up to 4 filters in them, but that doesn't mean you have to buy 4 filters. So it'll filter as effectively with 1 filter as it would with 4 filters. The only difference more filters mean is you get the water faster. So perhaps instead of buying a couple of Berkeys, just buy one with 4 filters. And what I mean by 4 filters, I mean for the black filters. But you also have to buy, in my opinion, you don't have to. I would buy the white filters as well. filter out arsenic and fluoride. They're actually called fluoride filters. So they'll filter out all the drugs that are in the water and whatnot. They're quite good. Don't listen to me. Do your own reviews. Google your reviews. Berkey water filter reviews. YouTube Berkey water filter reviews. Look at that red dye test where they actually put red food coloring in the water and they filter it out. I personally have done the test and it works 100%. And the water you get out of the Berkey is pure, clear water. It takes 100, not 90%, 100% of the food coloring out of the water. It's an amazing product. And the water, I've never had better tasting water. I really haven't. The filters is where it's going to kick your ass, and as far as money. So, John Anderson, I used to be on the keto diet. Yes, I did. It does work. Buy the keto strips to make sure you're in ketosis. You can get the keto strips on Amazon, I believe, for maybe $11, $10. You piss on them every now and then to know whether you're in ketosis. Once you're in ketosis, you don't even need the strips anymore unless you suspect that you might have eaten a little bit off diet. Yeah, so I used to be on the ketosis diet. It does work. How long would you survive if you had to? Well, as long as I had to, Navy CB. Though I used to go bivouacking for long periods of time when I was in the Army. For you folks who do not know what bivouacking is, it's basically camping out in the middle of nowhere. Did you lose weight? How UCD? I don't know what that is. Did you lose weight? Yes, I have lost some weight, but I don't know what UCD means. Do you have a seed bank in your preps? Yes, I do. Not only do I have a seed bank, I only bought non-GMO seeds. And yes, you can buy them on eBay. I have also, when collecting seeds, it's very important that you just don't go out and buy nilly-willy seeds. You got to look at your growing zone. You're just Google, I forgot the terminology. Type in grow zone and then your city. Because grow zone can change from city to city. See what grows in that grow zone and buy those seeds. Buy that variation of tomato or that variation of carrot. Okay, so I got a lot of heirloom seeds, yes, tomatoes, but I just have a lot of seeds. Navy CB, I sold that Mountain House. I sold it, but I also have a lot of cans of Mountain House freeze-dried food, though. I'm just saying. You need a shit hit the fan mentor. I'm just starting out. Where should I begin? Well, go to Costco, buy yourself what you can afford, a decent shelving unit, and just start filling it up with cans of food. As you fill up with cans of food, eat. Eat it and rotate it. So you always put the new food behind. Buy only what you eat now. Don't buy what other people are buying. Start learning how to freeze dry food. Not freeze dry, dehydrate food. Learn how to can food. Just watch a bunch of other videos as well. Stack 'em high. I work as a solar professional in Iowa. I would love to get solar on my house. Man, it's so costly though. Mike in New York, thank you so much for the 199. Appreciate it. I'm curious, what part of New York are you in, Mike? I'm just looking at some of the comments. Thanks. Long Island behind the wire. So as a kid, Mike, I'm from New York. My parents used to take me to Montauk every summer, maybe a couple of times in a year, 2 times a year, maybe twice in the summertime. Really nice out there. Penny University has a great prepper channel. The man is hard worker, low budget. So Yukon Cornelius, no, it was not listed in the disclosure. We already are looking into that. We are already into it. I am out so much money. We're going to try to recoup our money. But you know what? I learned a lot. I actually learned how to do my own roof. If I had to in a pinch, I can repair my roof again. Now, I might not know every variable in roof repair, but I can definitely, if let's say if it's in the middle of a roof and it's not like up against, the spine or whatnot, or it's pretty easy. You just freaking go up there. You take off the clay tiles, stack them around. You yank off the membrane, or some people call it tar paper. Some people call it whatever. You yank that off, and you find where the leak is, and you cut it out from rafter to rafter, and up long enough to where it maybe just go where the board ends, and you replace that section. Hammer it down where there's like every 6 inches. You throw some freaking new membrane over it where it just overlaps all the way downwards. I think I can do it in a pinch. If the dollar collapsed, what do you think about would happen to the credit card debt? A very interesting question. For example, mortgages, credit cards, in the contract it says you will have to pay X amount of dollars. It says it right in the freaking contract. If the dollar collapses, there'll be money in the streets. You pick up that money and you send it to your credit card company. Debt paid in full. Because the contract is in dollars, and if the dollar collapses, you see the irony there? They can't say, "Oh, we're changing our contract now. Your contract is null and void. You must pay in silver coins now." It doesn't say that. You read your contract. Any debt, your credit card, you owe us such and such dollars. It doesn't even say cash, because anything can be called cash. It says dollars. Might be good for our debt if it does crash. I'm just saying. Well, that green confetti, Brumple, would be worthless. But you still have to abide by your contract. Why did I stop keto? I had a heart attack. Was it last August? And I don't believe it's the fault of keto. So I was eating a lot of, I think I didn't know enough about keto, fast Eddie. I just thought I would just eat any fat. You're good. And freaking every day I would have like a half a pound of bacon and freaking eggs. And I think it just really screwed me up. So my only thing is when you're on the keto, yes, you have to have fat, but make sure it's a good fat. I made a mistake. Silver Monkey Face, thanks for being here. Quarter ounce gold pieces by John Anderson. I would love to get one. And I will once I get back on, once we recoup the money from the house, I'll get back into the silver stacking. Like I said, I haven't sold any of my silver though, but I just had to stop my purchasing for a while I fixed the house. I'm just going through some of the comments here. Yeah, coconut oil is a good fat by Roan Bear. Definitely is a great fat. Like I said, I just made some bad mistakes. I just thought, don't eat carbs and someone said just eat fats, but I didn't realize they meant good fats. And I'm just freaking buying bacon all the time and hamburgers. And it really did work though. While it worked, I went into ketosis, man. I just freaking lost so much weight. My energy levels went up. I look cut. I mean, it worked good, and I might get back on it. This lot, thank you so much. Did I prep any drugs? Yes. We have the meds that I normally have to take. I got a full backup of like heartburn meds, even down to Tums, even down to the Tums, because during the shit hit the fan, you're going to be eating foods that you're not accustomed to. Maybe you're not accustomed to canned foods, and you always eat fresh foods. But you're going to change your diet, believe it. I don't know in what direction, but your diet will change during the shit hit the fan. And I am quite certain that your stomach is going to be very upset for a little while, and you're going to need everything from Tums on up. Definitely, and even the women, they need to get their personal hygiene stuff and whatnot. So yeah. Fast Eddie's doing ribeyes and eggs every morning. Yeah, I have a bunch of salt as well. Fast Eddie. Have you ever done a video? Yes, when I had my mountain house, my cabin, that was my bug out location. I was actually doing videos from it. Take a look at some of my older videos. I'd say about before July. Any video before July. Not any video. There's quite a few videos where I was up in the cabin. Yes, I do think Q is real. I do believe they are real, and I do enjoy their videos by the Demon Hunter. Thank you. Nick Fangza just had a conversation with the wife. Us Asians don't know what a carb is. We have a nice rice maker. It's from Japan, actually. And I guarantee you guys know what carbs are. But yeah, I love white rice. No, it's not a rerun. I'm live. This is Memorex. Remember the old Memorex tape, cassette tape commercials? 76P10 Army Guy, thank you. What do you do about the neighbors who aren't prepared? Well, now is what you would do. You would basically get to know them and know who is who and who doesn't really care and who's an idiot and who will not be receptive to your message, and pretty much don't share any information with them. Don't let them know squat. Chances are they'll be coming and knocking on your door and asking, and you just give them what you can and don't give them what you don't want to. That's all I can say. But don't even waste your energy preaching to them or trying to convince them that they need a prep. Your information will fall on deaf ears, but they will remember that you have food when the shit does hit the fan. Therefore, it's just not even worth it. And the people who are receptive to your message and think they too would like to prep, you got to be careful with them, because some of them are yappers, talkers. The older we get, I find that there's a lot of gossipers. They have nothing to do, especially the retired people. They have nothing to do but talk about other people. So just because somebody says they're a prepper doesn't mean they're a good person. Just because somebody says they're a prepper doesn't mean they know OPSEC. And you got to be careful who you talk to. Don't let people know what you have. That's all I can say. And if you do, you might want to get an extra gun or two. That's something it's very difficult to say no to somebody also. It really is. They come knocking at your door. You might have been over their house once or twice in the past 5 years for a barbecue or a block party or some bull crap. And you got to look them in the eye and say, I don't got nothing. Because you might stack enough food to last your family for an X amount of days. X amount of days, and then they start to go hungry. When you give food away, that means it's X minus whatever food you gave away. So not only do you have to have compassion maybe for the person that's asking for food, but now you got to think, well, we had enough food for 30 days. Now we only have enough food for 29 days. But that's just where the problem begins. So Mrs. Smith and Mr. Smith come knocking on your door. We're hungry. Here's where the problem is if you give them food. How much food are you going to give them? You're going to give them enough food for a day or two? That's pretty generous. But unfortunately, that food will run out. Now they know, because you've already given them food, that you have food. Bad scenario. So when you give out your food, you got to remember, they will run out of that food. And now they know where to come get it. And then when they come to your door a second time, it's going to be twice as hard for you to say no. Providing that you can say no, they're going to walk away pissed. No longer your friend, they'll be your worst enemy. And when they cannot take the food from you, they will gather up other neighbors who are equally as hungry. And they will come to your house as a group because you've given food away one lousy time. You got to think of the person. Put yourself in the shoes of the person who is hungry. You're going to give them food. They're going to run out. They're going to want more food. It's just the cycle of being alive. It's not something I would want to do, but it's stuff that you got to think about. Unless you freaking are going to give them food each and every freaking time, remember, you have X amount of food. X minus whatever food you give away is the less amount that you and your family will survive. And that's what I do. A lot of times I think about things like that. Don't think about it when it happens. You got to think about it now. When you're just sitting around, maybe reading a book, or you're just watching a sunset. It fucking sucks, I know, but it's got to be thought out. You got to think things out. You have to have a plan, and you don't make a plan regardless of what it is. You go on a road trip, you don't make a plan the day that you get in the car and start the car. You make a plan. You make an itinerary, a plan, or whatever how you do it a week in advance. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to this town. I'm going to drive here, stay the night here, drive off, maybe go camping here, go there, and come back home at this time. Everything's got to be done in advance, and that's even survival. Again, you give food to one person one time, you either keep giving them food, or they're going to go and gather up the neighborhood and come get that food. And they too might have guns. Not only preppers have guns. Navy CB, without a gun, you're pretty much screwed. I agree with that. You didn't hear of Noah opening the ark and then it started to rain. No, good point. I read the Bible, and I think he was actually building the ark, a year or years in advance. OverTaxed, where do you draw the line between helping people and what Jesus would do? Demon Hunter, excellent question, and I have thought of that exact question. And it's a tough one. There in the Bible it says, God, I hate to quote the Bible because he basically says, anybody who doesn't prepare for themselves or work deserves what they get. And on the other hand, in another chapter says, you should help the unfortunate. I think what people who try and fail, those are the people I think need to be helped. Those who do not lift their hand for nothing and will do nothing to help themselves do not deserve to be helped by others. That's the best way I can think of. You got people who refuse to work, who rather go stand in front of a store or on an intersection and beg for money. And you can tell they're more than adequate. They're more than able to work. They're just lazy bums who just, I just don't believe those people should be helped. People who do not want to help themselves, no. It's very hard. And I got a feeling when I go to be judged, I might be judged myself very hard, but we'll see. Very good question. Very, very question. Farmers were to leave the outer edges of the crops for the poor. That is a true statement. But again, in those days, even the poor worked. I think there's a difference between poor and people who have nothing because they choose not to have nothing. I think the word poor means somebody who's trying but just cannot get ahead due to whatever reasons. I think the poor also includes people who cannot work due to health issues. Those need to be helped. But I am talking solely about the people who are just freaking lazy and just do not want to work. That would rather go and humiliate themselves on an intersection holding up the sign, "We'll work for food," rather than go get a job. I had the same conversation with somebody I was with today. It is it's hard. I mean, would Jesus help even a lazy person? I believe Jesus would help a lazy person, but I think there's limitations to, God, I don't want to get struck down by lightning right now. I think there's limitations to Jesus's patience. Help you. I'll even help you get a job. Oh, you quit your job? Well, then I'm not helping you. I think. I don't want to freaking get struck down by lightning right now, but I think he would help them to get back on their feet, and they chose not to stay on their feet. Then it's waste. Sloth is Sin by the Roan Bear. I saw a man in Charlotte holding a sign over his head. "I am not a pagan. I am trying to sell you a bottle of water." Okay, I don't know how to take that from the perspective of the person who's selling the water. I picked up a lot of guy holding signs, "Will work food." None of them wanted to work, just wanted a handout. That's a true statement. So Fast Eddie, here in where I live in Arizona, there's a lot of people. I used to own my own little construction company. I used to lay interlocking brick pavers, little landscaping, that sort of thing. And you would stop where a group of guys were or whatnot, and they wouldn't want to work. They just want the handout. The first question: what do we got to do? When would we get back? When can you drop us back off? Yeah, we don't want to. No. A lot of it is they just don't want to work. They just want that handout. And this got us on another conversation today, Social Security. So a lot of people who have not put into the system are getting Social Security, and it's teeing me off. And the people who have put into Social Security since their first job, as young teenagers perhaps, are not getting it, or there's not enough in Social Security to sustain their life. Paying the rent and whatnot. There's just barely enough there. And now we're hearing stories of illegals coming in and getting Social Security. And we've been lied to, I think Social Security, in my honest opinion, you go to a bank and you say, "I like to withdraw $100. What's the first thing they do? They check your account to see if there's $100 in there before they give you $100. I think Social Security should be like a bank. It should be like a bank account. You want Social Security? Let's see if you put it in. Let's see how much and from when to when. What was your average rate of pay throughout your life? Oh, yes. We see you put in. We're going to give you your Social Security because you met all the other criteria. But you got people now that are like 21. "I got a paper cut. I can't work. Yeah. I'm not good with people, the stress. I got mental anxiety, and my psychiatrist says I can't work, and I need to get Social Security." And they're getting it. The lawyers are freaking training them on exact words to say. "My dad used to beat me. I got a phobia of being around people." They're literally training them how to get Social Security, people who have not put in. And I just think if you didn't put into it, you shouldn't be able to get it. I'm feeling very strong about that as I grow older. It should be treated as a bank account of some type. You don't have the money in the account, you can't have it. They won't work, Dan, at Taco Bell. Because they got to get up and they got to, get up and they got to, get to work. I wouldn't say there's any more urgency than in any other time. Perhaps I'm tired. I'm exhausted, and maybe that's that sense of urgency that you're speaking of. I don't think anything is any more detrimental today than it was yesterday. But thanks for the comment. No, I agree with you, Rooster. There shouldn't be any Social Security. It's a way of money laundering. You get, it's like it's like energy. There's whenever you transfer energy, there's always a loss of energy. How do I put this? I'm not a scientist or anything, but I've taken some classes. To run a generator, you pour gas in it, but you lose some of the energy of the gas just by pouring it in, and this machine is burning it, so you don't get as much light. Anytime any you never get 100% out of energy. It's what is the word? Efficiency. Efficiency. Solar panels. There's a gentleman here who knows what I'm talking about. He says he works with solar panels. They're only so much efficient. Propane heating has got a certain percentage of efficiency. How much kilowatts, how much heat can you get out of a gallon of propane versus, let's say, natural gas versus, let's say, electricity? There's always a loss of energy. And where the hell did I get this from? I went off on a tangent and forgot what the hell I'm talking about. Alrighty. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, the urgency. And there shouldn't be any Social Security. All right. So, in my opinion, you put money into their Social Security. You don't get 100% of that money back. I don't believe so. I started working at 16 and a half. I got my first dishwashing job. I was paid at the time minimum wage $3.65 an hour, and they were taking Social Security taxes and whatnot from my paycheck when I was 16 and a half. And I've been working my entire life, and I'm now 56. I'm not getting 100% of that money back. No way, shape, or form. There is a loss of energy, a loss of efficiency when I got to give it to somebody who is going to manage it and then give it back to me later. Does that make any sense to you folks? So why do they want you to give the money? They want you to give the money so they can now have a pool of money to maybe reinvest in other places where you don't reap the rewards of any successful investment. You only reap the negatives from the investment. They use it to buy votes. They use it for whatever they want to use. And then the people who manage it, this is where that loss of energy comes in. You put money into your account, Social Security, but now the people who manage it need to get paid. Your Social Security administrators and whatnot. They need to get paid. Where does that money come from? It comes from the money that we just put into the Social Security. It just seems really whacked. Just seems really whacked. Because anytime somebody manages anything, they need to get paid. Therefore, it needs to come from something. There's a loss of energy, a loss of efficiency, maybe I should say. It's money laundering. And speaking of money laundering, that's what I think the Bidens and Hunter Biden was doing with the Ukraine. Imagine this. You're going to give them $6 billion? Okay, forget the whole firing that prosecutor who's looking into my son Hunter. You give them $6 billion, and 3 weeks later you get $1.5 million back? It seems like a payment. That seems like some type of money laundering where you get some and now you got to pay us for us doing that for you. Is it a way of stealing our tax dollars? Hey, the deal is for really it's really the deal is 5.5 billion, but we're going to give you 6 billion. We want you to give us some of that back, okay? It's kind of like these African or these South American call scammers. Hey, if you write me a check, I'll send you some of that back, you just write it for this amount of money and I'll send you some of that money back. It sounds like that kind of scam, doesn't it? What was that? I forgot how that scam worked. Yeah, Just Add Silver just said this perfectly. Social Security wants to hold your retirement, like the banks want to hold your savings. Meanwhile, 99% of the Americans don't have any savings. They take your savings and then they loan it out to other people. For 29% interest rate, if you're lucky, 21.99 interest rate. Everybody wants to hold your money. Yeah, it was an Algerian money scam. They would call you. Let's say you put something on Craigslist. So it's coming back to me. Let's say you put a car on Craigslist. You would get some Algerian guy saying, "Hey, I want to buy your car. I'll tell you what. I know you're asking $10,000 for your car, but you can send me. I'll send you a check. I'll send you a check for 15 grand instead of 10, and you just send me the $5,000 back in cash." Meanwhile, it happened to me once. I didn't fall for it. I got the check in the mail and I took it to the bank. I said, "Is this real?" And she said, "No." And I kind of knew in my heart but I wanted to see the inner workings of the scam. So basically what they do is they send you a check. They immediately cancel the check, or it's just counterfeit check. No counter, nothing really. It's just totally fake. And you see the check and they hope that you actually send them the money first before you take their check to the bank. That was the scam. Yeah, I did hear JM bought Providence. Yeah, I did hear that. So I don't understand the logistics of being two different websites, though. Yeah, there's a lot of people that fall for scams. I have never fallen from a scam. I'll agree. I've been ripped off by contractors before, but that's something you can't avoid. I mean, you can't. They promise you, and you interview them, and they sound like they know what they're doing, but then there's no quality control within them. Latin Stacker in the house. More market share with two separate websites? Yeah, that's possible. That is definitely possible. Who else is in the house? So we got Blue Net Marketing. We got Millennial. I can never say that damn word. Plastic Stacker. Who else is here? I got Monkey Face. I already said hello to. Just Add Silver is in the house. Who else? Carl 28560. Quite a few people. Yeah, I like JM. I've never had a problem with JM. So the minimum, someone's asking this again. So the minimum is 200 ounces. I would shoot for 200 ounces as your minimum. You gotta understand this though. 200 ounces. Is it going to make you rich or anything? Absolutely not. But 99.999999% of the people on this planet don't even have 1 ounce. If you can get to 200 ounces, that should be a good first goal, a good minimum stack. That's just my opinion. No, I did not find any information about the new designs. I did find articles, Latin Stacker, talking and discussing a new design that incorporated an anti-tamper, anti-counterfeit design on it. But nowhere can I find the actual design. Just a lot of talking, nothing, and it's very early talking. There's absolutely no final discussions on what it looks like. It looks like it's just the beginning of an idea, Latin Stacker. I did not know there was a military discount on precious metals. Demon did not know that, and I will ask them next time. I did not know that. No. For every ounce of silver you buy, you're actually hurting the banks. You really are. Yeah, I already covered Dan Willow, the death of the ISIS leader, early on, and and even this guy, I gotta cover this a little bit again. Again, I mentioned it early in this video. They claim they killed Osama bin Laden. They claim they had to rush him to a Navy destroyer or a Navy ship or whatever. And they claim they had to rush him in the middle of the ocean. And they claim in the middle of the night they had to dump his body over water because they claimed it was for his religion. How many other Muslims have died that we did not do this? What were they hiding that night, that evening when they dumped the body overseas? Now we got another Muslim that just died. This Al Abayabaduba, Yabadabadu, whoever the hell his name is, did they rush him and dump him over the side of a Navy vessel for respect of the Muslim religion? No, they did not. Something tells me Osama bin Laden was a fictional character. I'm just speculating. Or he was a real character but really died several years prior to when they claim they killed him. But you got to remember, after they killed him, remember the entire SEAL team? Their helicopter got blown up? Amazingly. Within what? A week? Not even a week. Look it up. Remember, the same SEAL team that killed him, their helicopter was shot down. For some reason, they were flying through a canyon at low altitude, and they shot rockets or handheld rockets down onto the helicopter. Was that a coincidence, or was somebody covering up what might have been a lie? And was it maybe CIA operatives who really shot down the helicopter, and not the rebels that we were told? I just find the whole thing very suspicious when you take a look at Osama bin Laden, how he was rushed aboard, if he was really rushed aboard, and then had to be dumped at sea due to Muslim religion. But yet we don't honor that religion to any other Muslim before or since. There's one that just got killed last night. And then amazingly, after Osama bin Laden's death, the same SEAL team got ambushed and they were all wiped out in a helicopter, which their helicopter was shot down. I find it very uncanny, just look it up, folks. I'm not making this crap up. Saddam Hussein is another person who was, all right, he was hung by his own people, I guess. But his religion wasn't rushed. I mean, his religion wasn't honored. They didn't take him to some water and dump his body overseas. I never heard of that. Dumping a body overseas. Out to sea. Well, Gaddafi. I don't know the true story behind Gaddafi. I've seen videos where the people really loved him because they were basically getting their gas and everything for free, Rooster. So I don't really know the true story behind Gaddafi. A lot of the people loved him. He was taking back his gold. He was basically given the natural resources to the people for free, from what I was told. But then there was a certain faction that hated him. Could that have been rebels? I don't know the true story anymore. I don't believe anything I hear on the news anymore, Rooster. I take it with a grain of salt. Demon Hunter and somebody else, and Pete Hansen, talking about Snowden. It's a very touchy subject, especially in the field of work that I do. And yet at any time, one of my coworkers or even my supervisor can see my videos. As far as what Snowden was a whistleblower. You know, if somebody does something, let me just say it this way. If somebody does something wrong, they need to be brought to the surface. If even if a government entity is doing something wrong, it needs to be brought to the surface. So that's all I can really say due to the nature of the business I'm in. I'm sorry. But I think you know where I stand just from that comment. So, is it possible to purchase over 5,000 precious metals online? Well, even if Provident Metals has set a limit to 5,000, what's the harm in making one purchase for 5,000 and another, and then waiting an hour or two and making another purchase, or maybe waiting a day and making another purchase? So yes, it says they set their limit, but it's probably per purchase. Just wait an hour or two and try again, Brandon 0069, or wait a day or so. So Dan Willow would like to see some silver, but where am I? I'm in California right now. I'm on a business trip in California again for my job. So I don't bring silver with me when I travel, especially through the airport. So I do apologize. I'm here working at the Navy facility, doing what we do. Randy Panella, yeah, Yabba Dabba Doo. They all those names sound alike. Pack and heat, no. I did not pack any heat because I flew here. I'm stupid, Roan Bear, but I ain't that stupid. If I would have drove, yes, I would have been packing heat. I'm in Oxnard. Rooster, I'm in Oxnard. How do I feel about scrap gold? If it fell in my lap, I love it. I would love to get my hands on any gold. I have no gold except for a few 1/10 ounces, and they're just literally the size of my pinky nail. So, yeah, scrap gold is cool. I mean, nothing wrong with that, buddy. Howdy from Modesto. So I don't know California very well, Rooster. How close is Modesto to Oxnard? Curious. Probably can't have that type of heat in that socialist state. When my wife and I don't care who hears me, but when my wife and I go on a road trip, and we've done plenty of road trips, starting in Tucson, we get to the San Diego area and go all the way north, and then come all the way south again. I always carried 100% of the time. Anytime my wife and I go into California by car, we carry. So here's south of Sacramento. So we're talking a couple hours. Modesto, south of Sacramento, kind of, it's maybe an hour, I guess. So, yeah. So, yes, it's against the law and I can be thrown in jail. So my thing is, what's worse? Maybe getting a flat tire in the middle of nowhere, getting killed, or seeing my wife get killed, or me being thrown in jail. I think I'd rather be thrown in jail. Yahoo Maps, follow them. Now I'm very careful how I carry in California. I'm very careful. I mean, it's under my seat, and it goes up in the hotel room with me, and then it comes down when I go back in the car. I don't leave it in the room, for some cleaning lady to find it. It's done very carefully, and I don't play. I just don't. Navy CB, she'll survive because I'm a survivor. Would she leave or hang with me? I think my wife would hang with me. He definitely would hang with me. Johnny P in the house, grain of salt in the house. Thank you so much for wishing me well. Silver Miner, thank you so much for being here. There's over 1 million people in Chile today protesting their billionaire. If these people do not go to the slammer for what they have done to presidents of the United States, most of what they've done. It's amazing. Every country is complaining about their leadership. Every country. Isn't it amazing? It's not a coincidence. They get into office, they love that power. And it's amazing, no matter how bad the economy gets, you never hear of, let's say, a politician having to sell one of their 5 homes. Never, oh, times are hard, I gotta sell. No, you never, it's only the people. It's only the people that have to put up yard sales and make they outlawed the mafia and their tactics, and what they did is they adopted those tactics. They really have. It's funny. You win a gift card at work, and I've just recently won a gift card at work, $200. I was taxed $65 for the $200 gift card. It's no different than owning a store, a convenience store, and having 3 men walk in, throw shelves around, and then slap you around and walk up to you. You want protection? All right, so every week we're going to come in, and you're going to give us 15% of the take, or more of this destruction is going to happen, and worse, we'll break your legs. And it's no different. They take it right out of your paycheck. They don't even need to come knocking on your door. It's taken right out of your paycheck off the top. And if you put in overtime, well, the taxes go up. You're penalized even more. They've taken up, they outlawed mafia because it was competition. That's the only reason why the mafia was outlawed. And the government took those tactics and used them for themselves. Slavery never ended. For those folks who cheer Abraham Lincoln, he did his best, but slavery never ended. It was perfected. We're all slaves now. And they've been in government so long, they think they're entitled. They own you. They actually, an outsider got in, and oh my God, an outsider got in. That's what's going on here. How dare an outsider get in? He's ruining everything we set up. Yeah, try leaving the plantation. I've did a video on this, and you can look it up. And it's literally, I talk about plantations. It's very offensive to some people, but I say we're all slaves. Black, white, whatever color you are, we're all slaves now. That's what I mean by slavery was perfected. When they put the Federal Reserve online, it made us all slaves. It was perfected. And we all live in a plantation. Your plantation might be LA. Your plantation might be in Modesto. Your plantation might be in Bronx, New York. Yours, Tampa Bay. Yours is Tucson. And you'll be amazed. You take a road trip, and you will be amazed, just like corrals. You have a big lump of cows in one area, and you want to get them over to another area, and they're all wooden corrals, and you can only walk down and go in. I mean, it's total wood to lead these cows to the slaughter. And what I mean is, metaphorically, you leave the plantation, you leave Modesto and want to go to another plantation. Maybe you want to go to Tampa. You take a drive, and these corrals do exist for miles and hundreds of miles. I've driven back and forth across this United States. I truly have. And every road, no matter how rural, no matter where, there's always barbed wire on both sides. Take a look next time you're driving. Look off in the shoulder, look off a little bit. You'll see barbed wire. I never knew there was that much metal ore in the earth, because every road, as far as I can drive, there's a metal fence. I don't know if it's barbed wire, but it's like a 3-tier wire system where you can't get on that property. That's out of the corral. You can't do that. You want to? You want to get out of the corral? Oh, you want to go camping? Well, you're going to need to pay a licensing fee. It's a permit. You want to camp somewhere? You want to go fishing somewhere? It's a permit. What is permit? Permit is short for permission. We're all slaves. We all live on plantations. You want to build on your house? Oh, I know it's your house. You need a permit. What is permit? It's short for permission. You need a permit to build onto your house, yeah. We know it's your house, though. We know you paid for it. We know you pay the taxes on it. We know it's yours, but for your safety, we need to have you pay us so you can build. They're going to say yes 100% of the time. They're going to say yes 100% of the time. So we know it's not a safety feature. They claim it is for your safety. They just want to get the money from you. People are being taxed to a point where there is no savings. And I think it's by design. I really do. Everything is so expensive. Who really has savings except us silver and gold stackers? Unless you've got from a rich family, obviously. But who can really set money aside? Which with mortgage rates or rent rates as high as they are, with electricity bills as high as they are, with all the other fees to live, and now we got the health insurance scam, which is bullshit. Who can afford to have anything savings? We're all going to die poor and living on the streets, if you ask me, except for the gold and silver stackers. I think everybody's destined to live on the streets once they are not able to work and earn a income. When I was a kid, I would go into any fast food chain, go into Baskin Robbins. There's always somebody young behind the counter. Now you go in there, they're all old. The young can't even get a job anymore to put themselves through freaking school. The old are actually ringing me up at freaking Walmart now, or at the Fry's supermarket. You go to Taco Bell or whatnot, they're all older people now. We are all destined for that unless you put money aside. And what I mean by put money aside, you buy your gold and silver now for later times is what I'm trying to say. Can't save if I try, gotta buy a coin. Yeah, I mean, buy one coin at a time, and that's savings. An 8-ounce American Silver Eagle? I never heard of that. I'll have to look that up. I've never heard of an 8-ounce Silver Eagle, my friend. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not the keeper of all knowledge. LA Prepper in the house. Andrew Dreyer in the house, thank you. Everybody always asks me, what is my plan for surviving the shit hit the fan? And I gotta come clean with you guys. I'm like you. Have you been through a shit hit the fan situation? Have you been through anything like that? Have you been through a dollar collapse? Have you been through a collapse in society? Have you had a war on your land, on your country, on your soil that you've had to live through? Well, neither have I. I haven't either. So I'm not going to sit here and bullshit everybody. Well, I'm going to do this and this and that. It ain't going to be like the movies. I'm doing the best I can to prepare. And when that happens, and when that situation happens, we will learn one day at a time The only advantage we're going to have over the other people is we're going to have provisions to eat with. We're going to have provisions. We're going to be able to support our family for a while. We're going to have firearms to defend ourselves. But to sit here and tell you I'm Rambo and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to build a lean-to out in the freaking desert, and I'm going to do a solar freaking irrigation system and grow freaking vegetables and hogs. I don't know what the hell I'm going to be doing. I really don't. And I don't mean to be mean, but let's just face it. We haven't been through that situation. We will learn one day at a time, when and if it comes. Dan M., aren't you giving money to the slave master by buying Silver Eagle? Yes and no. I've made videos about this. Again, with silver, you have a chance. What do I mean by that? What was it, 4 months ago? Don't kick me in the shins, but I think it was about 4 months ago. It might have been 5 months ago. Silver was at $14 and what, 20 cents? So what do I mean by you have a chance with silver? It's now what? $18, give or take a few cents? So if you have 1,000 ounces, you just made some money in the course of 4 or 5 months from the jump from 14 to 18. I am speculating that one day silver will be over $100 an ounce. Now, this is not a scam to make you buy silver from my website, because I don't sell silver. I don't even have links on the bottom. Click here to buy your silver. It is not no scam to make money off you. It's really what I believe in. I believe one day silver will be over $100 an ounce. And there will be an event that triggers it. There will be an event that triggers it. I don't know what that event is. I'm not a prophet. So yes and no. But you're giving that money to the slave master for Silver Eagle, but in the hopes that that Silver Eagle will be worth a couple $100 one day, or $100 one day. The Umpire's Post. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for stopping by. I'm Rambo. Check out my lean-to. But am I right? I mean, we've never been through that. And you go to some YouTube channels, they act like they've done it. You know, they freaking even got. They're not even old enough to shave. Oh yeah, this is how I'm gonna do it. Yeah, this is easy. Oh my crapping Lord! You haven't even been in boot camp yet, and you're gonna freaking think you're a soldier. And that's what I mean by fantasizing. They actually fantasize. I keep putting my glasses on, taking them off, but they actually fantasize, romanticize about going to war. And they actually send me freaking emails that I completely ignore about going to war with the government. I ain't going to war with the government. Are you flipping kidding me? Dude, I'm freaking digging a hole and hiding in it. I have no freaking... I do not want to go to war with the government. You know what kind of business I'm in? They make missiles that can surgically wipe you off the planet. And you're going to go to war with your little M16 or your AR-15? Oh, you're such a tough soldier, and you've been watching too much Dawn of the Dead movies, is what I would say to them. They got missile technology that can freaking take you out and not even take out the guy next to you. They got freaking satellites and radar that can just see you wherever you go, track your every movement. I don't fantasize about freaking going to war with nobody or killing anybody for that matter. It's a filth. Killing somebody is a filth that you can never wash off you. You can go roll around with the pigs and you can wash that off. But everybody fantasizes about taking a life. You know you can't wash that off anymore. You can't wash that. And the only reason I will freaking kill anybody is in my self-defense and my family's self-defense. Only reason I kill somebody. Also in somebody else's self-defense. But to go fantasize and romanticize and ooh, I got my AR. I got an AOTTP scope on it. Imbeciles don't even know what they're asking for. Pete Hansen, I'm making him depressed. I apologize about that. I'm trying to be funny about it at the same time. $15 is better than nothing. Geo321. 15 ounces is better than nothing. Ask all your neighbors how much silver they have. They'll probably give you a big fat 0. So like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do when during the shit hit the fan. I can tell you right now, from this perspective, I would stay in my home as long as possible. I don't believe in bugging out unless it's an emergency. I've been through the military. I've been hardened. I'm a tough guy. But your family, your wife, your children might not be. Matter of fact, I can almost bet they aren't. And you're going to take them out of some place that has 4 walls and a roof, something that protects them from the elements, and you're going to put them in the middle of a desert or the middle of a woods where it's raining, where it's cold in the morning when they wake up? You're going to do that to your family? I'm hearing too many other YouTube channels preaching bugging out. Yes, in an emergency only. Is sub a 38? Yes, it is. It's very adequate for self-defense. Keyword is self-defense. Very adequate. Geo321, I was in the Army. Just add silver confirms a 38 will do the job. I don't want to get shot with a 38. I wouldn't want to get shot with a 38. $49er, if you have a 38, also get those speed loaders. Is your 30? I'm gonna stupid thing. If it's a revolver, and I'm pretty certain it is. I never heard of a 38 caliber being in anything else but a revolver. But I am not the all knowledge when it comes to firearms. But if your 38 is a 6-shot revolver, get some speed loaders for it. Okay, just look up. Revolver speed loaders. They're dirt cheap, and practice with them, okay? Geo321, I'm 16 and can't buy a gun, and my mom hates guns. Well, if you're living with your mom, it is her house, Geo, and you gotta respect her rules. Do not buy a gun and bring it into her home. Bottom line, when you're old enough, get out. And the good thing about getting out is, and getting your own place is, you make up your own rules. It's your home, you can make the rules up. But don't go against your mom, okay? Don't go against your dad, regardless of their rules. Get old enough, get out. When you're a man, you make your own rules. So how many ounces is a good stack? Donna Sykes, I covered this about 15, maybe a half an hour ago. A good stack, a minimum good minimum is 200. If you have 500, you have a very respectful stack. When war comes to your doorstep, you big out or you die. Like I said, in the case of an emergency, I think you meant to say bug out. In an emergency, that's the only time you would leave your home. When your home is no longer safe, is the only time I will bug out. Stephen Parsons, thank you for being here. Dan Willow says 300 ounces is a good, respectable stack. And there's no right or wrong answer. 300 ounces is a good stack. Guns are overrated, perhaps. Crossbows are cool. As far, I mean, if you have one target and you don't have multiple target, yeah, a crossbow would probably be pretty good. Yes, I did see some fires. So while driving on 101, let's see, I would look to the east, and we saw fires driving towards Santa Barbara. So between Santa Barbara and Oxnard, north of 101, I saw fires, yes. Well, I should say I saw lots of smoke. Okay, I think for a second I don't know, am I still live? I just lost connection. Can somebody say whether I'm still live or not? Okay, yeah, it just flashed, regaining connection. Thank you everybody. What will I buy with my silver? It depends what I need. So, whether, if possible, if silver goes up, I'll have enough to pay off my home where nobody will kick me out. Food is another thing. 100 ounces by Griffin. That's awesome. That's great. I don't know what you mean by this Fed repo. Don't know what you mean, Toyota guy. Cannabis and psychedelic opinions for the future of mankind and evolution. I don't know why you would need psychedelics for the future of mankind. Cannabis, I've seen people smoke weed and I didn't see anything bad. Nothing worse. No difference in drinking a beer with some of these people. I mean, I don't really have a bad word to say about pot because I don't smoke pot, but like I said, in my opinion, it's no different than drinking a beer or two. It's when you crave it for the rest of your life and need it, and you spending your money from financial obligations, and when that happens, then stupid. You still like Tucson over Pine Top? I've never liked Tucson over Pine Top. If I had enough money and I can find a job elsewhere, I'd move. I hate freaking Tucson. It's the armpit, one of the armpits of America. Pine Top was nice, but there was no jobs up there, and my wife was by herself, so we decided that we would be together. I personally would love to move back to New York. I would love to live in the Tampa Bay area if I had the choice. One of the two. But life doesn't always give you what you want. God gives you what you need, not what you want. And a lot of times you don't want what you got, but you tend to find out later, hey, that was the best thing. South Florida, DCL, thank you for being here. I'm actually going to call it a night in the next 6 minutes. I didn't realize I was on for 2 hours. But thank you so much for being here, everybody. I really do appreciate the fact that you were hanging out with me for this long. I had fun. It's funny. Umpire's Post brought up vaping. I want to mention something about vaping. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't vape. So I don't want to come at it like it's bad, or I'm not trying to ridicule anything. Cigarettes have killed millions and millions of people. It has harmed and made the lives of millions and millions of people bad. Some of them are living without cancer, but they have no throat. I mean, you've seen the damage of cigarettes. 6 people, 10 people, I don't know how many people, maybe a few handfuls of people died from vaping, and they want to wipe out that industry. It is amazing. And I'm willing to bet, if you dug deeper, I'm willing to bet there are cigarette lobbyists who go to government and they are pushing for the vaping industry to be nixed. One industry kills millions upon millions, and actually does worse than that. They cause our insurance premiums to skyrocket. Yet they want to crush just vaping. It just blows my mind. I think one industry is trying to close out another industry. Ben Frank, thank you so much. Alan Winkle, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I already mentioned Ben Frank. Thank you very much. Adrian again, Randy, Panella. Who else is here? The Umpire's Post, Firecrest. Glad you came back on. I was thinking about you and some other people I follow, but YouTube doesn't inform me anymore. I don't know what it is, folks. I noticed my views since I do apologize that I talk political. A lot of people just want me to get on here and just talk silver. And I already mentioned this earlier in this live stream. There's only so much you can say about silver. No different than there's only so much you can say about this phone. But you got to know why we're stacking silver. Why do I preach everybody should have 6 months worth of food on the shelves? Why do I preach that you should stack silver and have guns? I just don't say stack silver, stack guns, stack food. Have a good day. You got to know why. And that's why I talk about politics. That's why I talk about the social injustice and the overtaxed rates that we all suffer through. That's why I talk about politics. I know a lot of people hate politics. And know why they hate it? Because they think I'm coming from a Republican perspective and they happen to be Democrat. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. But I can tell you, because I'm not sitting in that paradigm, I think I can see clearer. I think I can see. It's like being in love with a bad woman. You can't see it, but your friends are telling you she's a bad woman. Or for the ladies out there, it's like being in love with a bad dude. You don't see what's wrong with him. You can't see that he's cheating on you, but your friends are telling you. They see it. They see he's an asshole. It's like that. Because I am not neither Republican nor Democrat, I can see. But when you're so invested, I'm a Democrat. Anybody talks bad about my Democrat, I don't see it. You got to stop being a Democrat. You're not part of their team. You think you're part of their team. You got to stop being a Republican. You think you're part of their team. You're not part of their team. You think you're part of their team? Try going to one of their dinners. Go walk up to the White House. Go to the congressional dinners. Yeah, I'm here for the dinner. I'm part of the team. You get your ass handed to you. You're not part of the team. They're very conniving and very good at making you think you're part of the team. You ain't part of the team. You're a schmuck who contributed to what you think you're the team. And that leads me on to my next subject. People treat politics and political parties like a football team. They'll freaking follow that football team no matter how good they are, or for that matter, how bad they are. And they'll get into a fight if you talk bad about their football team or their baseball team. People are looking at it as like a team, like a sport. Politics is your life. Politics is not a sport. And you should not be invested in these people like, oh, I'm a Democrat. I don't believe it because I'm a Democrat. You got to freaking stop being a Democrat. You got to stop being a Republican. You need to stop being led to believe that you're a part of their family. You're not. You need to step outside that paradigm. You need to be maybe an independent and look at each person accordingly. And you will see clearer. You trust me. It's like having a girlfriend and everybody says she's bad. And you don't see it because you're so lovey-dovey. Stop treating your political party like a football team. Yeah, I knew I would automatically start getting the comments. Trump is bad. No, actually, Trump is pretty damn good. And like I said, I'm not a Republican. You're led to believe Trump is bad because the news is telling you, and everybody is on sync with the same movie script. They're all reading from the same script, and you're hearing the same things all over. You're led to believe that these news organizations are independent news organizations. And a lot of them have commercials. We're your local independent news organization. We bring you the news first. We're live and fair and balanced. We're independent. Bullshit. That's the number one propaganda line. They are not independent. The only thing that's independent about these news channels is the damn weather. And they don't even get that half right. They're reading from the same script. The owner owns 4 or 5, maybe 10 news organizations. And he hands it all down. This is what you're reading. And you'll notice they're all in the same script because they all use the same adjectives. Look up what an adjective is. Google the meaning of adjective for all you young guys out there. You use the same nouns and the same pronouns. It's amazing. They are not independent, folks, and that is why you believe the news, because you're hearing it from multiple sources, the same message, thinking that they're all independent in agreement with each other. They are not independent. I can't say it enough. It's like one news channel just being broadcasted on different numbers on your dial. Your remote control. Back in the day, we had to twist the knob. Brandon O0069, thank you so much for your comment. Yeah, I'm in Arizona. I mean, I'm not right now. I live in Tucson. Yeah, so I know what real gun ownership is. Thank you very much, Dual Spectrum. Empire's Post. Yep, I read your comment. Thank you. Mockingbird Media. Dan Willow. Anyway, folks, I got to run. I've been on here over 2 hours. I really appreciate the time you spent. I always say this. Time is very valuable. I know majority of you folks got to wake up early in the morning and go to work. And you probably worked late Friday, which gives you 2 days off. And that time that you got off is very valuable. And you don't like to squander that time because you feel like, oh, then your weekend's gone and you wasted your weekend. So I feel very honored that you folks tuned into my channel and gave me, and that's how I look at it. You gave me some of that time that you don't have much of. So I just wanted to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. I got to run now. I appreciate it if you look at some of my other videos that we talked about, because we covered a lot of subject tonight. So I got a lot of videos that really go into detail about pretty much everything we talked about tonight. Where is the next live? I will try to do a live chat tomorrow, maybe about 5 o'clock ish. On business travel again, so at any time, my boss, who is here also, we have a large team here. At any time, my boss can say, "Hey, we're all going out to dinner." I won't do the live chat. So it's up in the air. I will tentatively plan for 5 o'clock ish tomorrow, maybe even 4 o'clock ish. Appreciate if everybody hits the like button, and I got to get out of here. Folks, have a great evening. Now, how do I end this video? Oh, there it is. Take care, folks. Peace.